Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Maybe you need a little caffeine, or maybe the sheer energy of this matchup will keep you wide awake, as we know anything can happen when you kick off after dark. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Florida Gators, taking on the 21st ranked team in the land, the SMU Mustangs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Mustangs will kick it away to start us off. Coming out with it, it's Hawkins. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it. Was not a good one. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He leaves it with his back. They'll knock him down after a pickup of 1 to the 18.
This offensive line better figure out a plan for this D tackle. He is tough to block with one guy. You might want to start double teaming him. He's going to be a problem moving forward. You saw all of his ability on that last one.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking downfield, it's Lagway. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
So already a challenge on this opening drive. It's 3rd and 9. From the gun, wants to pass. Right down the middle. Complete to the left. The expressway is wide open. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped.
Well, after that last play, you can see how electrifying this guy is and how special he is after he makes the catch. If I'm on offense, I'm trying to find a lot of ways to get him touches in this game.
They go to the ground. Just enough room to gain a couple down to the 34.
They're strong and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. There's such big jumpers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance. When you got that 300-plus pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
Touchdown, Gator! And they score first. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game, get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
And he knocks the extra point through the upright. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. Offense getting set for first down. Wide out in motion. They'll throw it on first down. They're setting up the screen. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. They'll start this one from the 29 on first down. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Cross the 30 out to the 33 and gains 4 on the play. And the Mustangs will hustle to the line. Looking for a man. It's Jennings. Fires to the wideout. It's caught downfield. Got a lot of running room. Inside the 10. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, SMU.
Such a nice job by the wide receiver there on the corner route. He did a nice job off of the stem, not telegraphing where he was going. The defender had no idea. And when he broke to the corner, he created a little bit of separation. There was an accurate throw. He made the catch and then took it into the end zone.
All tied up and just about set to kick it away. And he'll return it and try to get behind his blockers. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Gators sending the offense back to work. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
On second down, wants to throw it. Quarterback moving. Going to try to get it himself. At the 40, there he goes. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact.
Man, it's so nice to have a weapon like this at quarterback. It dictates coverage. You want to play man-to-man? Everybody turns their back. Watch him pick him up, put him down, shoot up yards, getting a big play down the field.
Now across the 50 and at the 48-yard line, they'll have it first and 10. Quick pass on the jet motion. Inside the 15. He's loose. Give him 6. Touchdown, Florida.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. From inside the 15, here comes the return. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did a great job. The offense was clicking. Everything went well, Palmer. They executed and got the touchdown.
And they really were in a nice rhythm as well. I'd love to see that here on the next drive, too. Just keep doing what you're doing. Everything seems to be working, and you seem to have this defense on their heels.
Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. Looking to pass. It's Jennings. Getting some heat. Had to throw it before he wanted. And they can't make the connection on 3rd down.
Man, I don't know if you want that guy outside the pocket very often because he's so fast and he can do some damage, but they did a nice job containing him. Once he left the pocket, they were ready for it, came to him, he tried to throw the football. Nice hit on the quarterback as he's throwing to force a bad pass.
On 4th down, going to the air. Going over the top. And the ball is caught. He's inside the 35. Not much of a 4th down gamble when it's that much of a sure thing. An easy conversion for this offense.
And they're showing you their intentions early in the game. It's 4th down. You're in your own end. We're going to be aggressive, and we're not just going to do this early. We're going to do this all game long. Awesome execution on a critical down.
The aerial assault continues. Finds his man. It's Bailey.
I'll tell you, for this defense, they're going to have to find a way to bracket this slot receiver because of how athletic he is. They're going to need to make sure they've got linebackers and DBs surrounding this guy at all times.
They're trying to get to him. He just throws it away, and I think the flag's going to be coming in. There it is. Now on 3rd down for this offense. He's looking downfield to throw. He's taking the shot. And it's picked off. Takes it the other way. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Well, the defense was expecting pass on that one. 3rd and long, they dial up the perfect coverage and a great job in the back end, reading and reacting to the quarterback when the ball was in the air, coming away with a massive interception.
The handoff to Johnson. He's stuffed after picking up 1 to the 23.
I'll tell you, this is a running back who's very, very dangerous, and the defense did a good job getting him down there. But they got to do a great job gang tackling because this is a guy that can break tackles and turn those types of plays into home runs.
Fires to the big fella. They make the stop, but the sweet pulling catch is plenty to give him a 1st down. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 34. To the air. It's Lagway. Oh, he wants it all. Makes the grab inside the 30. And he strides his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Gator!
When you can run like that, the quarterback is going to give you opportunities. And look at him run by the defenders. QB sees it, stick the hand up in the air, catch the football, get to the end zone.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. On the run from inside his own 5. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the 2nd quarter.
That's the end of the 1st quarter. With the score, Florida 21, SMU 7.
1st down to start the drive after the break. Pass to Sticks and still on his feet. And the defense finally makes the stop after the sweet run and good gain. The Mustangs headed quickly to the line. Might as well give it to him again. A run up the middle is stuck for no gain. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. He's looking to throw. Trying to make magic on the scramble. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit. As they come to the line on 3rd and short from the 43, I wonder if they already know they'll go for it if they don't make it here. Looking to throw for it. And they can't make the connection.
Defense did a great job. 3rd and short on the opponent's side of the field. They're expecting quick throw. Everybody, they dug their heel on the ground. They're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
And the offense will stay on the field. Do you think they're just going to try to make the defense jump? That's a live ball. Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
Talk about getting excited just to lose it again. The offense gets the first down. You got enough yards, but what do you have to do? You got to take care of the football. You can't cough it up.
He hurls one deep down the left side. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. Back to work on 2nd and 10 from the 41 after that last incompletion. A jet sweep pass. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
Got to give the defense credit. Watching film, anticipating. They knew that this offense had this play in their back pocket. They knew about the speed of this wide receiver, the different ways they were going to try to get him involved. Everybody on defense on the same page, playing together. I love it.
To the air, it's Lagway. Gonna let it fly. And that pass picked off. Trying to take it back. He's inside the 40. He'll finally go out of bounds, but he was showing off all the skills after that interception. Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. Ball security always paramount. That football must be riveted to your rib cage, Jesse, and it wasn't last time.
And look, he knows that happens again. He's going to find himself on the sideline. So this is going to be a dude very motivated to make some plays on this drive.
Yeah, and I think it's frustrating, but you got to put it behind you. You got to move on. And this offense has to go through him anyways. You got to be able to run the football and have some balance.
And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. And the Mustangs want to crank the tempo. They'll run the option. And into the end zone. And he's sprinting. He'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Mustangs. After the score, we'll see if that breathes a little fire into them. They fake it. The kicker's looking to pass. And it's caught off the fake. He's in there for the two-point conversion, and now they're just down 6. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Florida has the ball back, and here comes the offense. Boy, they hope this next drive is more productive after throwing a pick last time, Jesse.
Yeah, and the coaches did it.
And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback, and down he goes. They gave up the sack on first down. Now it's 2nd and 11.
That is exactly what this defense needed. They have not had a great first half, given up a bunch of touchdowns, but this might get them started. This might get the energy going and maybe rattle the quarterback a little bit with that sack.
Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. Back to pass, it's Lagway. Finds the tight end. And that was some kind of collision between a couple of big bodies there, and he stopped from getting the first down. On fourth down, they'll run it, looking for the first. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on down.
That's a great job there by the defense here early in this game, getting a huge stop, and they've got an opportunity to make the opponent pay. Offense taking over now in great field position. Let's see what they can do here from a play calling standpoint to try to put some points on the board.
Nowhere to run on that when he loses 4 on the carry. A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. He's looking to throw. Quick strike complete. Finds a crease at the 20.
And that's just a great individual effort by the wide receiver. He catches this ball way short of the sticks, but because he's able to make the defender miss, now he's able to get the extra yards and turn that into an explosive play.
He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stops. This offense can get a jolt of momentum headed to the locker room if they can take the lead here. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, what a great job by the defense. You got to understand, it's physical time, right? They want to run the football when they start getting inside the 5. Nice job getting penetration, getting the tackle for the loss.
Caught in the backfield, it's Smith. The pressure ramps up on 3rd and goal. Defense in press coverage. Needs to get it in the end zone on 3rd and goal. They won't let him in. He had a nose for that end zone, but he will be stopped short.
And he does everything he can. Tries to scramble, tries to make something happen. Nice job by the defense getting him to the ground. Down by more than a field goal. Interesting decision here on...
Touchdown, SMU! And how about this offensive show so far? The AT unit on the field. And the extra point puts them on top by 1. So they start in a great spot, move the ball 34 yards, and finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. The kickoff team out there set to boot it away. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. Line gets set, first down. Back to throw, it's Glagway. Trying to escape and get it himself. And he has a solid gain on the play before sliding. Clock's running, and they'll try to get to the line, warp speed for 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Pocket starts to collapse. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. Quarterback checking off. Going up top on first down. Going downfield for the big play. And it falls incomplete, but that could have been disastrous. The defender was right there.
Yeah, and I like the shot, the aggressive play down the field. We like throwing those jump balls up to my receiver because usually the receiver makes the play and makes the defender look bad. Nice job by the defender getting a hand on it, tipping that ball away from the wide receiver.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Going back to the well, another deep ball. Oh, look out, there he goes. Slippery slide, find his way and ran away from the crowd into the end zone. Touchdown, Florida! Another touchdown for this guy, and he's starting to get in the groove the way Terry Dean did when he set the single-game record with 7 touchdowns.
Another one. I mean, just putting up stats. This guy's finding the end zone, and he can do it all, just showing it off left and right. When you play in such a physical league like the SEC, but you got a guy like this that can get an extra first down and really keep those chains moving and score big plays and big touchdowns, good luck stopping him.
The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be concerned. If we're a little bit down, listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
Here he goes breaking the pocket. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Well, man, this quarterback is fast. You saw that on his ability to scramble around, but he wasn't fast enough to outrun that hit, and it was the hit that caused the incompletion.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Got his man in stride. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
To throw, it's Jennings. Unloads it left. He's got it. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking to move it through the air. Trying to get to it. Pass is incomplete, and we dwindle down to 7 seconds.
This pass rush is serious, man. When you watch them on film, they do a nice job in the back end, taking away all the throws downfield. He's trying to get to his check down, but that pressure gets to him, and the hit forced the incomplete.
Good, solid pickup there. Now they can start to smell it with a first down at the 31. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. And with just a few seconds remaining here in the first half, they'll try to kick a field goal. And this one is anything but routine, a 48-yard attempt from the right hash. Oh, the attempt is no good. He missed an opportunity to cut this deficit in half, still down by 6. And that'll do it. Here in the second quarter, halftime has arrived, and we head to the studio. The Gators will kick it off to start the second half. From inside his own 15, trying to follow his blockers. And the returner will be brought down. The Mustangs have the ball back and ready to go to work. I imagine we'll see them go right back to work up top after how productive that passing game was in the first half.
And it's interesting. If I'm the defense and I've got the lead, they've had success throwing the football, but we're winning. I don't know that this defense changes too much of what they've done in the first half.
I think they got to do a better job with pass rush. They might want to change their coverages as well, because they're probably at this point expecting this offense to have to keep throwing, considering they did have success in the first half.
Defense is about seeing it and pulling the trigger. And you can tell they pull the trigger so fast, get to the back, get them on the ground quickly.
They'll try to move the chains on third and short from the 25. Right back to it. He's able to fight his way for a couple of yards, but it'll be fourth down and 3. The Mustangs come to the line in the hurry-up. And he'll move his way forward to the first down. They'll mark it at the 35. No huddle offense to the line.
Yeah, I like it. I like the confidence of the coaches When you're an offensive coach, you got to be aggressive nowadays. And going for it in your own territory, it used to be, no, you can't do that. Now, everybody's like, you know what? Analytically, that makes sense.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. They'll go to the ground. And they'll bring him down after a short pickup. Now facing a 3rd and long. They'll give it to the back. Strong running there. Going to pick up 7 yards on the play, but they still have a 4th and 3. So the offense will go for it around midfield. On 4th down, looking to pass. And the incomplete pass, they roll the dice. Snake eyes.
I like the idea to go for it there on 4th down. You're basically at midfield, and you've got confidence in your guys to be able to go out. You've got experience in this offense. Guys have made these types of plays before. That time, the defense stepped up. They bowed up and made a better play and take over. Now you need your defense to get on the field in a sudden change situation and get you the football back.
Yeah, and it's a nice job by this defense. Understand, listen, that QB is a threat, and they're going to run all kinds of options. He's going to run the football. They were dialed in and got that sucker to the ground.
Looking for a man. It's Lagway. He rifles one deep down the right side. They get him down, but this offense is set up 1st and goal from the 9.
And a big reason why this team has the lead in this game is because of plays like that. They know they've got firepower throwing the ball. They've got the dudes outside that can make things happen. You saw it in the first half, and you see it here again early in the 3rd quarter.
They've pushed it ahead to the 4. They'll try to cash in on 2nd and goal. Tries again to get it in. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Man, and that's a frustrating play when you go in reverse near the goal line, goal-to-go situations, Palmer. You got to get those positive yards. You can't go backwards if you're trying to get a touchdown.
You know, I'm trusting in my quarterback here to make the right decision. Looks like we're going to have to throw it, right? But if it's not open, just throw this thing away. You don't want to take a sack, lose extra yardage here. Just be smart with the football.
And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. They could make this a 2-possession game with a field goal, but they want to put a little distance, a little cushion to their lead. They'll go for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete, a missed opportunity.
Oh, that stings, man. You did a great job calling the play. You got your guy open. Everything was executed perfectly. And the ball hits him in the hands, and he just can't bring it in. Man, those are tough ones. Those are tough to swallow.
Gets a nice surge and crosses the 5 to the 6-yard line to pick up a 3.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on 1st down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good 2nd down.
Give to the back. Shoots through that hole and picks up 5. He's out to the 11. And the Mustangs moving quickly to the line. Dropping back, it's Jennings. Throws for the tight end. A strike downfield. Hit the gas, kid, wide open ahead. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
What a beautiful throw and catch on this play, and I love the job the receiver did tracking the ball in the air. Nice job of locating the throw and then hauling it in.
Looking for space to the left. And he scurries out of bounds and wisely avoids taking the big hit.
And that's a really good job by this defense, because remember, when the quarterback runs, now you got an extra blocker, because he's not just handing it off and standing there, and they still did a good job at the point of attack, kind of strung it along and made him run out of bounds.
Leaves it with the running back. What a nifty run there to pick up the 1st down.
You ain't getting by all these guys right up the middle unless your offensive line and your tight ends and everybody is putting in the work up front, committing to blocking. The running back does a great job finding the hole, exploding through. How about that nice, big, huge game? If I'm the OC, let's call that one again.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Mustangs!
This defense is going to have to do a better job being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
And right down the middle. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone, it's Wilson. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this third period.
That's the end of the third quarter of play. With the score, SMU 29, Florida 28.
First down to start the drive after the break. Wide receiver now comes in motion. They'll run it from the gun. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing?
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
Dropping back, it's Lagway. Feeling some heat. That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. Offense calls a timeout here. Critically important to make sure they have the right play called and everyone on the same page here. This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And they can't complete the bullet pass on 3rd down.
And now such a tough situation. Late in this game, you're trailing, but now it's 4th and long. Like, it's one thing if it's 4th and short. This makes it even more difficult. You got to have something dialed up you feel really great about.
The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. On 4th down, they'll throw for it. Unloads to the right. Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game.
Man, that's a rough outcome. I get it. I want to try to be aggressive, but backed up in your own territory, aggressive, and you fail. Now you set the other team up for almost automatic points.
He's going to pass. Quarterback feeling the pressure, and down he goes at the 22.
All right, offense, it's got to be better. You've done a nice job getting the football to this point in the red zone, but now you can't go backwards. You've got to be able to get rid of the football if it's not there, and that was a terrible play giving up the sack.
That's caught. It's Smith. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. The Mustangs want to pick up the tempo. Defense just a little too eager, and that's 5 yards for the O. Whole lot easier after that penalty. It's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, SMU! If you want to know how to reach this guy, just send his mail to the end zone. That's where he lives.
He definitely is today. And I think the defense has to be getting a little sick and tired of the same guy beating him time and time again.
And he added the extra point. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. He'll bring it out. It's Hawkins. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Gators sending the offense back to work. We'll see if that failed 4th down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
When you hear about it all the time in football, go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You could see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
Motion from the offense. Looking to throw, it's Lagway. Gets it out fast. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down.
This is the moment for this offense to put a drive together. It doesn't matter what's happened up to the point of this game, but you're trailing right now. You got to put some points up on the board. This is where all 11 guys need to be playing together as one.
He'll come out throwing on first down. Coming after him. And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback.
That defender is a matchup nightmare for any offensive lineman to block. He's got athleticism, he's got length, he's got flexibility. He put it all on display on that side.
With the catch, it's Johnson. He almost picked up the first down on that one, but he'll be just a little bit short. No huddle here for the offense. On third and short, just trying to get enough for the first down. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the first down. He wants to throw. He'll try to do it himself. He scrambled forward and got a few and turned that into a positive play. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Line getting set on second down. He's looking to throw. He puts some heat on that one down the middle. Oh, and he gets downfield for the big catch. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Gators!
Man, I tell you what, great job by this offense. Great execution. You drive down the field, you get the score. Now what's your two-point play? You practiced it all week. What's your go-to in this moment late in the fourth quarter when you need the two-point conversion?
We've got a dandy going here, all tied up in the fourth quarter and about to kick it away. Every play magnified in the fourth quarter, and you just get the thing tied up, and the kickoff goes out of bounds to give up field position. We've got a tie game, and this defense will try to keep it that way with just a few minutes left. Oh, he's looking to throw. And he makes the catch inside the 20. And he'll go out of bounds just short of the goal line, and they've got it right on the doorstep.
Defense is a lot about communication. Multiple wide receivers on the same side. I got to understand if this guy's going in, this guy's coming out. Not a good job by the defense with communication there.
Touchdown, Mustangs! And they've moved out front here in the fourth.
Have yourself a day, young fella. You know why they handed him the ball a lot? Because he did that. That's his fourth trip to pay dirt. This dude has shown you a little bit of everything. What a great bat. And 4 touchdowns on the day.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. First down here with time for maybe one more play until the 2-minute warning. Use the play fake, now to throw. Might be looking to run. He wants a big play here late. It'll be a first down from the 49-yard line. Looking downfield, it's Flagway. Release to the back. And he dropped it, just didn't look the thing all the way in.
Yeah, and you use these running backs so much in the passing game now, and you expect them to make those plays for you, to make those big explosive plays out of the backfield. Just got to make sure he concentrates and see that ball come in.
He's got an open man. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play. Now they've got to hustle to the line and get set. They want to just keep throwing it. Snagged in the end zone. Touchdown, Florida.
Man, great job executing. The offense did what they needed to do. You got somewhat of a the decision here. Do you want to kick it, tie it up? I think you do with this time frame. 1 to 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You probably want to do that, but you could push an envelope. You could go for 2 and try to take the lead.
On the move from inside his 5. And the returner will be brought down. The SMU offense is headed back onto the field. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. On first down, here comes this offense. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. With the catch, it's Hudson. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense.
Man, this quarterback has been dialed in all game long. He's making outstanding decisions, and he's been so accurate throwing the football. He's now got over 350 passing yards.
These corners backing off a bit. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
It's so important for offenses to want to keep third downs manageable. The way you do that is by having success like that, running the football on first down.
Quarterback extends the play. He's out of bounds, but not before picking up enough for the first down.
Late in the game, a lot about execution, right? The quarterback has to understand situational awareness, has to understand, first of all, he does a great job of scrambling, but then the understanding part we're talking about clicks in. Does a great job getting the first down and getting out of bounds.
Give to the single back. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line. They'll try to kick it into overdrive. Clock's running, 2nd down coming. Quick toss. And that ball is live in the backfield. And the offense will maintain possession. Son, that ball must be riveted to your ribcage.
That ball carrier is very lucky. That easily could have ended up in the hands of the defense. You have got to do a better job of ball security.
Got quite a ways to go to keep this drive going. It's 3rd down from the 45. Scanning the field, it's Jennings. Just a short pass to the tight end. Offense will use a timeout. 19 seconds left in the game.
Well, they pick up the first against zone coverage. I think a big part of this for young quarterbacks out there is if you're going to be throwing into zone coverage, you got to throw on time. You can't stare down receivers because the entire defense has their eyes on you, so you can't telegraph where the ball's going. You've got to hold it to the very last possible second. Try to freeze defenders with your eyes and then throw the ball into open areas of the field, anticipating where your guy's going to be.
Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Well, I know it hasn't been a tremendous day statistically for this quarterback, but his decision-making has been good enough to win this game. He hasn't thrown a lot of TDs so far, but when things aren't open, he throws it away like on that play right there. He's not putting his team in a bad spot, and that's why they still have a shot to walk out of here with a W.
Got a man, it's Bailey. And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one. Timeout is called, and the clock is down to 8. 3rd and short here from the 35. Might take a shot here if this is 4-down territory. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Smith. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. They'd hope to get him in space, create running room, and there just wasn't anything there.
I love the 3rd down aggressive, in-your-face defense, not giving you any room to run down the field. Great job by the defense. They saw the throw, the quick pass, reacted to it, got him on the ground for a loss.
And the Mustangs come to the line with a fresh set of downs. And that's not the way they drew it up. It's incomplete.
Well, it's a nice job by the quarterback getting the ball out of his hands quickly on that RPO. He saw something he liked, just not on the same page with his receiver.
Long drive continues as the offense keeps working the ball down the field. They'll give him 4 on that one. It's 3rd and 6. Trying to pick up a first down. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Makes the catch. It's Smith. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down. The Mustangs are in the hurry-up. They'll run it from the gun. Pulled down after picking up 5 to the 6-yard line. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Jet sweep to the receiver. He pushes his way down to the 4 as they get closer and closer. Timeout called by the defense as they want to make sure they avoid any hint of a mental lapse here in overtime. Boy, they'd love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. Touchdown, SMU! And they're on top here in overtime. You want to keep your offense on the field, wear down the defense, put that tape on and show it in a clinic. That's the way it's done.
And as a defense, man, there's nothing more demoralizing. You can handle it when you give up 3, but to give up the touchdown at the end of a long drive, you're already exhausted. You've already been pumped the whole way down the field. Man, that's frustrating.
They know what's in front of them. They have to answer that score with a touchdown. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Trying to make magic with his feet. Nice job of avoiding the sack and picking up a few on the run.
Well, you're making a positive out of a negative. And that time, quarterback, nice job, buying time. He's trying to throw the football downfield. Nothing there, so instead of throwing it away and getting the incomplete, just get what you can get and make this next down more manageable.
Makes his connection. He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down. The give to the back. Got some room headed to the goal line. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
First down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another first down. Gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen.
Touchdown, Gator! They got it in, and now an extra point away from the tie.
First off, really impressed by how physical this guy is still running the ball this late in the game. And now it's decision time. Do you want to play it safe, kick the extra point, or are you feeling aggressive to go for 2 points?
And I think this is all about how you feel about your defense and how you feel about this game extending. Do I have a chance? Do I have better players? Am I more fatigued? Like, all this has to come into account because you got a chance right now with 1 play to win this football.
Now first down here in the 2nd overtime. Dropping back, it's Glagway. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Defense has it. If he takes it all the way, they win the game. A game winner. What a finish in double overtime.
And the defense comes with the blitz. Nice job getting to the quarterback. And don't just get there. Try to strip that football out. They get the QB to the ground. The ball's out. They scoop it up, take it all the way back to the house for 6.
The drama built throughout this game, memorable plays, and then finally the gut-wrenching loss at the end in overtime.
This coaching staff is going to look back at the overtime, and they're going to wish they had called some different plays. They had some things set up, but ultimately, with games like this, they come down to the wire. You got to be able to dial up plays to win. I don't think this coaching staff did a great job.
And it's so frustrating to get to this point and make enough plays to be in the game, to come up short in overtime. I'd almost rather get blown out or this game be decided in regulation. Just very frustrating to lose a game, especially like this in OT.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.